Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So sorry that there's not been a video. I mean, in the new year I'm gonna get like a certain, like I'm gonna do like a not rota, but I'm gonna be posting more often on every channel. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, is my entire Disney DVD collection. Everything apart from Marvel, because I don't include Marvel as Disney, but everything else. Like, I've got a whole entire row of Disney films right here in categories. So I am going to show you every single Disney animated film and more that I own. Everything that's owned by Disney apart from Marvel. This is going to be a long video, so I would suggest getting something to eat or something to drink. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start with the Mickey films, because Mickey started it all, right? So I'm going to include them. I'm not doing them in like order, apart from when we get to the classic films. That's when I go in order. So yeah, so I've got Christmas films, mostly Christmas films, because I love Mickey Mouse Christmas films. But the first one is Everybody Loves Mickey. It was one of my favourites as a kid. I absolutely love this movie. It's basically a whole bunch of Mickey short films, so like the 40s and 50s. I absolutely love that. Then we have Mickey's Around the World in 80 Days. I've not seen this actually. I found it at a car boot sale a few years back and I had to have it simply because it was Disney. For some reason I have Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Mickey Saves Santa, plus other other films, other episodes. I used to watch this a lot as a kid, so around about Christmas time. So yeah. Countdown to Christmas, which is basically rubbish in my opinion. It's great for kids, but it's not good for adult Disney fans, unless you like Mickey Mouse, of course. Winter Wonderland is another one I bought thinking, oh my god, it's going to be so brilliant. But it's basically just recaps of the other Christmas films. So yeah. I have Twice Upon. I don't know where the Twice Upon is, but I do have Once Upon a Christmas and I do have Twice Upon a Christmas. This one is from 1999 and the other one's from 2004 with 2D animation. So yeah, got that. This one's one of my favourite Christmas films. I had one of my favourite films growing up, and it's from a charity shop, so it's still got the sticker on it and everything. But it's Mickey's Magical Christmas Snowed in a House of Mouse. I used to have this on, I think, DVD. This is actually a copy I got from a car boot, because the other copy was like 15 years old or something, so I had to get rid of it because it was scratched. And it's basically a whole bunch of stories, but basically, the House of Mouse was basically a thing in the 2000s with Mickey and all that stuff, which I used to enjoy. So I'm trying to collect all of the House of Mouse. I do have Nightmare Before Christmas. And then for Halloween, I do have Haunted Mansion. And I do have the House of Mouse villains. Don't know where they are. Don't know. But I do have Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol. I love A Christmas Carol. I love all the Disney versions of A Christmas Carol. Apart from the Muppets, I don't really like that one, but I do like this version and the Mickey version. It's Disney, yeah, it's Disney. A Christmas Star. In that bin over there, which is filled with Christmas films. Christmas and Halloween. So I'm not going to go through it because everything's on top of it and I don't want to move it, so. So unless you've been living under a bus lately, you would know that Disney has been remaking a lot of stuff. It started in 1996 and then it ended with 2000's 102 Dalmatians, and then they started it back up in 2010 for Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why. Disney's ran out of ideas. So the first one is a double 2-disc movies of 101 and 102. So 101 is basically the original 101 Dalmatians, but live action form. 102 is basically like a spin-off, so it's basically one of the dogs from that litter, I suppose, having puppies, and one of them doesn't have spots, this one right here, and Cruella gets out of prison. I don't really understand, but I like both of them. They're great films from my childhood. I used to have that on VHS, and I used to have that on DVD just on its own, but we got rid of it because I was I was watching it too much. But yeah, that's it. Oops. And then we have Tim Burton's, I think it's Tim Burton. Is it Tim Burton? I don't even know. Tim Burton. Yep, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. I don't really like Disney's Alice in Wonderland films. I've just never got into them. I don't have the Looking Glass because I thought that one was worse than this, in my opinion. And that is the spin-off, you know, the different tale of Maleficent with Angelina Jolie. I absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favourites of the past God knows how long. I absolutely love it because it's different. It's not like the same story. It's like, you know, it's like Maleficent. Like, she's not the bad guy. And then I have the sequel to that, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which came out in 2018 or 19. I can't remember. But yeah, so this one's okay in my opinion. This is all my opinion, you guys. You guys can tell me what you think of these movies down below. But yeah, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil is not as good as the original, but it's still good. Cinderella, starring Lily James as Cinderella. This one is very beautiful. I remember going to see this in cinema, and it has Frozen Fever included. Absolutely love her dress. Jungle Book, which I didn't watch this movie when it first was made, because at the time, I was a teenager, by the way, but I didn't want to watch it because I just thought it was just very scary. Like, it wasn't, like, for me, because I don't like watching horror or scary, like, films. I don't even like that. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas is probably the one that would, like, is at the barrier of movies that I can watch. Like, I can stand that movie, but I can't stand, like, horror and scary, like, films. So I thought, oh my, because I saw the trailer and a lot of it, because I thought there was gonna, like, it was gonna be so scary live action. But then when I watched it, I think back in 2019 for the first time, took me ages to watch it, of course, I fell in love with it. The singing is not that great. They could have hired better actors. Not better. I want to rephrase, actually, because I don't know who played Mowgli, but he is great in this. But the singing wasn't great. So they should, if they were... Oh my god, if they were going to have music in this, which you can't have the Jungle Book without music, that's like having Lion King without music, like, come on. If they were going to do that, then they should have hired actors that could actually sing, because the bare necessities is awful in this film, but I do like it for the action, and yeah. My boyfriend don't like this movie, he don't like the Jungle Book as a whole. The Jungle Book one is alright. I think this one, the songs aren't as good as the original, but I feel like this version is better than the original. Really great film. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. This is my favourite remake Disney has ever done. Yep, Emma Watson and Dan Stevens. Love this film. Love the music. Yeah, so I did go and see this in cinema as well, and I absolutely loved it. Dumbo, live action. Alright, this is alright. Not better than the original, but the original I can't watch because what it sounded to, it frightened me as a kid. This one's alright, I love it. It's a different, like, it's not like, how can I say, it's not like the story by story is the same. Like, yeah, I liked this. Aladdin, I didn't go and see this in the cinema because there was a certain Disney movie that I went to see in the cinema that year that, because I was that broke, I didn't have a job or anything, I only had a certain amount of money to go see one film. So I picked a certain movie, which is coming up, actually. So yeah, I got Aladdin. 2019 was good for Disney because there were lots of movies. The Lion King, 2019. This is alright. I'm going to have to rewatch it to make my mind up. I wasn't bored with it. I was, like, really excited for the movie. Because Lion King, before this movie, you could not find anything Lion King related, apart from maybe one Simba plush, maybe one book and the DVD, and then that's it. As a kid, there was a lot of Lion King everywhere, because not only did the 1.5 come out, aka the third, but Lion King was the populist film until Frozen, and then Disney was like, no more Lion King, like, sticking to Frozen, unless you went to Disney, and then I'm sure there was a lot more Lion King, but when this came out, there was a lot of Lion King stuff out and about, and I was like, into it all. I really wanted to buy it all, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so I do like this movie, obviously. Yeah, really cute. Really cute movie, and the death of Mufasa is even more like sad in this film because they look real, like they look real characters. There's certain things that are wrong with this film, but we're not going to talk about them. Okay, just chucked it away across the room. And then the last one, oh no, second last one is the one I want to chuck in the bin, which I'm not going to do, by the way, because I spent my money on this, but it is the 2020s version of Mulan. Because of COVID, we got this in on Disney Plus, I believe. Because of COVID, we couldn't see it in the cinema. And I was looking forward to this. I was expecting Mushu and songs. Guess what? None of the two existed in this movie. I'm not really a big Mulan fan either. I need to rewatch Mulan. But I didn't like this at all. It was alright, I suppose. So because I went through all of them very slowly, because now it's over 10 minutes long, I'm going to be going quick now. So yeah. So next one is Pixar, and I've got this Pixar collection. So I'm just going to go through them real quick. The Incredibles, we have the Pixar Story, we have the Pixar Short Films, Volume 1, I believe, yeah, Volume 1. Cars, alright, I suppose. Bugs Life, I'm not really too interested in. Toy Story 2, love this film. Finding Nemo, a classic. Monsters Inc., a classic. Same year I was born. Toy Story, what a classic film. Like, I love Toy Story. And Ratatouille, a classic. So, Pixar for me, I do love Pixar. It's my favourite thing Disney's bought, I guess. Disney owns. They purchased, Disney purchased Pixar in 2006, I believe. Or 2007. For 6 years of my life, Pixar wasn't Disney. Toy Story wasn't Disney. How crazy is that? Like, anyway, speaking of Toy Story, we have Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4. And Toy Story 3, I begged my mum for, and Toy Story 4, I bought myself because I had my own money, so that's times for you. A great film this was. I was so shocked watching this film. I love this film. We have Coco, another one I didn't watch for a very long time, but I did, and it made me cry. Recently, both of these on Disney Plus. I love Disney, like, I'm a big Incredibles fan. So, yeah, I did just buy it, just to have it. I don't know. And then we have Onward, which isn't even open. Oh, no, it is open, actually, sorry. Onward, which I fell asleep during this, so I need to give this a rewatch. And then we have Luca, which is Disney's, Pixar's newer one, apart from, what, Turning Red, is that what it's called? Anyway, this one, I haven't seen. I bought it to watch it, and I haven't watched it. So, films, which include Knick Knack, For the Birds, Mike's New Car, Jack Jack Attack, One Man Band, Lifted, and Tokyo Master. I think that's how you say it. I've never watched these films, by the way, these short films. I have Toy Story of Terror somewhere as well. I do have Toy Story of Terror, which is Halloween. I don't know where it is, so it might be in there. Like, we have Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Film is my childhood. I used to watch these sort of films all the time. Yep, we have Beverly Hills Chihuahua. And then we have Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 with their pups. I don't have the third, but I used to watch the third a lot as a kid as well. I think these were on Disney Channel or Disney Junior or whatever you call them. They might be a bit cringy now. I don't know. Where are we? Then we have A Wrinkle in Time. I'm going to go through these real quick. Christopher Robin. I know a lot of people do class this as a remake, but it's not, in my opinion. Then we have The Odd Life of Timothy Green, which was recommended to me. And then we have Peach Dragon, the original, still in the packaging. And Peach Dragon, the live action. Yep. Then we have The Incredible Journey, which is not good at all, in my opinion. But it's basically Homeward Bound, which is coming up. And then we have The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. Love The Parent Trap. This is my favourite Parent Trap. The only one I've seen, actually. I've not seen the 1960s version. Then we have African Cats, which is a documentary I didn't even know I had, but there you go. Then we have Homeward Bound and Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. These were my childhood. I had that on VHS, and I saw that maybe a handful of times, maybe from... No, actually, I did rent this from Blockbuster back in the day. Kids these days don't know how difficult it was to have movies, like in the 2000s. There was no Netflix, there was no Disney Plus. If you wanted to watch something that you didn't have, you had to rent it or you had to buy it. Simple as. So Blockbuster was my Friday night thing that me and my mum did. And obviously Homeward Bound is incredible. The Dog, which I rewatched a few weeks ago, is alright, I suppose, for a dog film. It was alright, but I did like it as a kid though, because I used to, and still do, love dog films. Then we have, what's this one called? The Shaggy Dog, which I've never seen. Some of these movies I bought from like charity shops and car boot sales, like for like £1 or 50p or something like that. I never actually watched. I think it's Grey Face Bobby. This one I got for Christmas one year off Santa because, like I said, I love dog films, and I watched this twice. It's based on a true story about a dog who was basically like, he had an owner, him, the actor of course, you know, he had an owner, the owner died, and then the whole village was like looking after him and was like not fighting over him, but I guess fighting over him. So these came out back in 2008 to 2012, I believe, and there's a lot of them. I'm still missing a lot of them actually, and then there's spin-offs, so I'm going to show you them now. And these were my childhood. Let me know down below if you've watched these. I've got Air Bud, which is the first one in the collection. I think this was from 2005 or 2006. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, Air Bud, about these puppies. Snow Dogs. Snow Buddies, sorry, not Snow Dogs, Snow Buddies, which is about the pups again. And then we have Space Buddies. These came in a collection, in this collection right here, which is the Buddy films. I still have a lot to collect, so I am going to get those, I don't know when. I have 3 out of the original ones, and then I have spin-offs. I do also own Santa Buddies, which is part of it, and then I have the spin-offs. I have the Search for Santa Paws, and then the Santa Paws 2, the Santa Pops. I watched this last night, and I watched this a few weeks ago. And then Santa Buddies. So yeah, it's a 3-parter collection. Wonderful films. I mean, great Christmas films, I suppose. And then I have Santa Paws 2, the Santa Pops, which is again one I watched last night about Santa's little puppies. Great films, if you love dog films. If you love dog films, but you love, like, I don't know how to say it, so I'm just going to move on. And then last but not least, my favourite live action film from Disney is Enchanted. And yeah, so I love Enchanted. This was my childhood, and it's a great film. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend to watch, especially if you love Disney. It's got a bit of everything in it, like a bit of every single Disney fairy tale film. So I absolutely love this, and I love Disenchanted as much. This one is better than Disenchanted in my opinion, but Disenchanted is still good. And I don't know if Disenchanted is going on DVD. If it is, your girl is definitely getting it, because I love a bit of Enchanted. Okay. So of course have Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, 1937. I'm just going to whiz through these. Pinocchio. Oops, better move these out of the way. Fantasia. Fantasia 2000. Dumbo. Such a sad film, of course. Bambi 2, which is a direct-to-Disney sequel. One of the underrated ones. Dos Amigos. Make My Music. Fun and Fancy Free. Melody Time. And the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. The 40s. When Disney shut down the studio for the war, I believe. And to my knowledge, a lot of the animators went to war, like the soldiers. So they shut down the company, And instead of, you know, making animated feature films like Snow White, they made these films, which are basically, not only did they make propaganda for the war, but they made these, which are filled with like little short films. So they carried on making Mickey short films, and then they made other short films which were put into these. So these are filled with short films, if that makes any sense. Then we have Cinderella, which was the first one to be released after the war, 1950 film. And then we have Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True, which is a whole bunch of short films, I think. Yep, about Cinderella. So it's basically Cinderella learning how to be a princess. Gonna have to hurry up now because my phone's about to run out of battery. But we have Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, which is my favourite out of the two sequels. Alice in Wonderland, like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of Alice in Wonderland. We have Peter Pan, one of my childhood favourites. Pan 2, Return to Neverland, 2002 film. The Tramp, from 1955, the same year Disneyland opened. Disneyland in California, not any other Disneyland. We have Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure, one of my favourite sequels. I'm taking all the sequels out so because they go on their separate shelf. So to make my life easy, I'm taking them out. Beauty, which nearly shut down the company. Again, I'll make a whole video about that at some point. 101 Dalmatians, which is one of my other favourites. Love this film. Love it. Sequel, 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure, which is an okay sequel, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, of course. This is all in a mess. I've just messed them all up. Like, they all fell over. Alright, so then we have The Sword in the Stone, which I've not seen since I was a kid. We have The Jungle Book, which was Walt Disney's last movie he worked on before his death. This came out the year after his death, though. He died on December 15th, which was today, I think. No, yesterday. His anniversary was yesterday. So he died 56 years yesterday. And this came out the following year. We have the sequel, The Jungle Book 2, which is an alright sequel, I suppose. It's basically when Mowgli lives with the humans and he goes back to Baloo and, you know. Aristocats, another great film, very underrated. Saying that, Marie is not underrated, but the film is. Then we have another underrated, and that is Robin Hood from 1972. Then we have The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is a whole bunch of Winnie the Pooh short films. So yeah, not really a big Winnie the Pooh fan, so that's why I've only got one Winnie the Pooh film. Then I have The Rescuers, which is another one that's very underrated. Its sequel, The Rescuers Down Under. This came out in theatres, not direct to sequel, but I had to put it in with the original because it is a sequel. So that's why it's not all the way down the line with like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, all the 90s films. So yeah. Fox and the Hound and The Fox and the Hound 2. Fox and the Hound is such a good film, and I highly recommend it if you love animal films and cute little Disney films. Very underrated again. Yeah, so I do love Fox and the Hound, and I did watch it today for the first time for a few years at least. The Fox and the Hound 2 I did rewatch last year, and it's not good. Like, it's not, like, for the first time, like, I watched it, and it was not good at all. I think I watched it as a kid though and liked it, but it's not great. Compared to the original, it's crap. And then we have The Black Cauldron, which came out in 1985. This film nearly shut down the Walt Disney Company, which again, I will do a separate video on. But yeah, Black Cauldron, very scary movie, so I would not show this to kids. Basil the Great Mouse Detective. Not seen this since I was a kid either. Oliver and Company, which is Disney's version of Oliver the Twist. And it's a great film. It's very underrated. Very underrated. I have the 2-movie collection of Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. One of my favourite films. It's in my top 5 at least. Ariel's my second favourite Disney princess. And then we have Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Another good sequel. I love the songs in the Little Mermaid 2. Not as good as the original Little Mermaid soundtrack, but still up there in my top 10. Beauty and the Beast, the special edition, which I got this because not only does it have special features, but the whole cover looks like the VHS tape I had as a kid. It just reminds me of my childhood, and it opens up like this, and it's slip cover. So yeah, I have a Christmas film, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, which I didn't put in the Christmas pile because it's Beauty and the Beast, and it had to go with the sequels to Beauty and the Beast. Awful sequel to Beauty and the Beast, and that is Belle's Magical World. Not a big fan. And then we have Aladdin, another favourite of mine. Absolutely love Aladdin. Return of Jafar, which was the first direct-to-sequel they ever did, and is a good one. This one is one of my favourites, which in my opinion I do really like. Comment down below what you think of these movies, by the way. We have one of my favourite films, as you guys know, and that is The Lion King. This is the special edition, which again I had on VHS, and it's like Beauty and the Beast. It like comes up like this. It's slipcover, and then it opens up to this, and then it has bonus features. Love The Lion King. Then we have The Lion King 2, which is actually my favourite sequel ever from Disney. It's basically Romeo and Juliet. Simba has a daughter named Kiara. Sira, Scar's wife, whatever, has a son named Kovu, and they basically fall in love, even though Simba tries to split them apart or whatever. You know, it's cute. And I have it on VHS as well. I absolutely love that. And then I have The Lion King 3, aka The 1.5, which was made for the 10th anniversary of The Lion King in 2004. And it's basically Timon and Pumbaa telling the story of The Lion King. I saw it as a kid, didn't really like. And then we have Around the World with Timon and Pumbaa. I'm not too sure. I've not watched this. I, of course, bought it because it's Lion King. Pocahontas. Didn't like this movie as a kid, but absolutely love it now as an adult. So the original Pocahontas I can actually watch. This movie I can't stand, and I don't know why. I have it on DVD. Hunchback, really great film. Love the soundtrack. Alan Menken is a genius, of course. Alan Menken made the Renaissance, or part of it anyway. I know there's a lot more people that made the Disney Renaissance the Renaissance, but he was one of them. And then we have The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, which I rewatched for the first time in a long while yesterday. Since I was a kid, actually. And it was okay. Like, it's not the best sequel Disney's ever done, but it's still good. It's one of those that I would show to kids, because Hunchback, the original, I wouldn't show to kids unless they're, like, old enough to know that movies aren't real, you know. Hercules movie, but I prefer the soundtrack to the actual story. That's just me. Mulan, I've not seen in a long while, so I had to give that a rewatch. But yeah, Tarzan. So yeah, I have Tarzan. Love Tarzan. Love the soundtrack by Phil Collins. Absolutely love Tarzan. And then I have Tarzan 2, which is basically Tarzan as a child. Not watched this movie yet, so I got it because I wanted Disney sequels. Then we have The Emperor's New Groove. What a funny film this is. Absolutely love. Dinosaur, which I used to watch as a kid. Not a lot, but it was one I remember from when I was a kid. That goes first, and that, and that. Okay, I'm trying to keep them all in order because they're going to go straight back on the shelf. Got Lilo and Stitch, which is another great film. Love Lilo and Stitch. Stitch 2, Stitch has a Glitch. Great film. Stitch the movie, not so much. Don't really like this movie. I loved the Lilo and Stitch movies as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I don't really like this one. I used to like it as a kid. This one is okay. Planet, which is a very old copy from when I was little, as you can see. So yeah, not seen that in a long time. And then I have Brother Bear. This one's a great film. Like I said, it has music from Phil Collins, and like I said, with Tarzan, I love Phil Collins. Brother Bear 2, I love Brother Bear 2. I love this movie. It's a great film. Home on the Range, which I don't really like personally. This is another one from my childhood, very, very old. Right? Chicken Little, I haven't seen since I was little, so I can't comment. One I didn't like very much was The Wild, but I did have the book of the film, which is a great film. Princess and the Frog, which is very, very, very underrated. Love this movie, love this soundtrack, and highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Definitely give it a watch if you haven't. Yeah, love Disney. Tangled, which is an absolute brill. Love Tangled, always makes me laugh. Wreck-It Ralph, not really a big Wreck-It Ralph person. That's just me, and maybe I need to give it a rewatch. And then Ralph Breaks the Internet is another one I haven't seen. I know, shock horror. I've never seen Ralph Breaks the Internet. I haven't given it a watch just because I didn't really like the original Wreck-It Ralph. I have Big Hero 6. We have Zootropolis or Zootopia. What a good film. Love this film. We have Moana. Absolutely love. Absolutely not like, actually. The Last Dragon. Not seen. I know. Have Encanto. Absolutely love Encanto. And then we have the Frozen movies. So I'm just going to go through these because then I need to put them back in order. So we have Frozen, of course. I mean, I'm sure everybody in the world has seen this movie. I don't think I've ever met anyone who said that they've never seen Frozen. If you have, you're freaking lucky. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure there are people that have never seen Frozen. We have Frozen 2. Better than the original, to say the least. I love this film. Love Frozen 2. Love the soundtrack. I always listen to the soundtrack. For some reason, I've been into listening to the original Frozen soundtrack a lot lately. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm sick to death of Frozen 2. Not like forever, but like for a bit, you know. Take a break and then come back to it later on, but you know. And then I have why can't I talk? I have 2 short films from Frozen. So we have Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Christmas film. It's an okay one, I suppose. And then we have Frozen Fever. Alright, again. Not too great. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my Disney DVD collection as of December 2022. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe down below. And I'll just give you an overview. So look. All these movies. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.